Hey, Justin here, welcome back. We're well into autumn. As you can see, you've got some beautiful autumn color there behind me from one of the Japanese maples. And it's start of November now. The temperatures are dropping quite rapidly, so starting to get cold. But yeah, from the perspective of the orchids, it's a good time of year because a lot of them are coming into bloom now, and I've got a couple of really nice ones to show you. So without further ado, let's go inside and take a look. So first of all, apologies for the murky conditions. It's kind of a dull day today, so not getting that much light in. It is typical of the Netherlands towards winter. The brightness tapers off quite significantly, so hopefully the camera will do a good job of compensating somewhat. So yeah, on the right there we've got 3 paphs in bloom, and especially that yellow one is the one that I want to show. This is Fumi's Delight, Paphiopedilum Fumi's Delight, which is a primary hybrid of Armeniacum and Micranthum. Just slipped my mind for a second there. So Armeniacum is the golden yellow one, and Micranthum is the pink one with beautiful tessellations. And this is a wonderful primary hybrid of those 2 species. You can see the tessellations on the petals there, really nice. And really a nice plant as well, even when it's not flowering. You can see the foliage there, which is pretty cool. And I got this as a little seedling a couple of years ago, I think from Schwerte, probably in Germany, and it's grown really well. And I find these Parvisepalums to generally be pretty easy, although to be honest, the parent species of this one are not that easy, but the hybrid I've found it pretty easy. It's grown well in my conditions. I'm growing it in a mix, a very moisture retentive mix with sphagnum moss in it. Just let it start to dry out in between waterings, and a little bit cooler conditions in the winter especially they enjoy, and that can also help it to trigger the blooming. So yeah, absolutely delighted to have this one in flower. And on either side we can see 2 other paphs, which I think I've shown them both before, but it's an interesting comparison. So this one's a Parvisepalum primary hybrid, as I mentioned. This one Brachypetalum species, Niveum. Also beautiful foliage, mottled foliage, and these Parvisepalums, and I think the Brachypetalums as well, they mostly come from Vietnam and south of China in the Yunnan province, which is a little bit further away from the equator. So they kind of, and they grow at some elevation as well, around 1,000 meters. Up to 1,500 meters, even maybe a little bit higher for Armeniacum, which is cooler growing. So it's sort of like a subtropical conditions that they're growing in. The summers are not that cool, they're sort of warmer, but the winters can be quite cold actually. So they can take cool conditions in the winter. So. And they might enjoy that, so something to bear in mind if you want to try them. But I find them to be really rewarding plants and well worth the effort. Next to that we've got Charlesworthii, Charlie, as he's affectionately known. It's a very pale pink on this one. The dorsal is often darker, I think, but very nice nonetheless. And yeah, I showed it last time, so it's fully open now. And also I'd say it's reasonably easy growing, not terribly difficult. And then we've got a number of Phalaenopsis. This hybrid here is quite nice one. Nice rainbow effect on the lip. Got this one from Orchid Garden in Poland. It's just opening up now, and I think they've got this one on sale in the web shop. Can't remember the name of it, or maybe I'll look it up and put it on the screen. And yeah, a couple of other, well, this is the orange baby, so this one fades to kind of orangey yellow. So flowering again, very nice one. And this one is a species, this is speciosum, I think it is. Yeah, speciosum. It says Phalaenopsis speciosa. I think it's a, might not be correct spelling there. Yeah, this one, the colouring was supposed to be more sort of purplish, those spots, but they're kind of brown, so not quite sure what to make of it. But the lip is very nice with the amethyst colour on the lip. So yeah, what do you think? Is it a keeper, or would you be disappointed? It's not quite as it was in the photo. And here we've got a little Oncidium, also first time bloomer from Mexico, Mexican Oncidium. Just a small plant, but these can eventually grow quite large and with big spikes, I think a couple of meters long and probably hundreds of flowers on it. But this is the first flowering, and it's very colourful and really a lot of detail in there, which I really enjoy. It's not fragrant, unfortunately. It's the name of it there, if you're interested. And this one's from Orchids and More, Orchideen und Mir, yeah, also in Germany. And I've got a little dendrochilum here. Long since lost the label on this one, but very elegant. Little racemes, little miniature. And over here, this is probably, well, this and that Fumi's Delight together, my two favourites at the moment. So this is a Lycaste, or Lycaste, not quite sure how you're supposed to pronounce it, but beautiful colour on this one, and it's the first time it's flowered. I've had it for a couple of years. It's been a little bit of a struggle. I still think I haven't really nailed the culture on this one, but very nice nonetheless to see it flowering with this beautiful flower, which I think is, well, it's more than 12 centimetres across and probably approaching 15 centimetres, 6 inches. So pretty good sized flower. You can see the label there, the name of it, Shonan Bright, so it's a hybrid. And a beautiful fragrance on this one as well. So yeah, really happy. But if you look at the pseudo bulbs, you see they're kind of shriveled up a bit, the old ones. The new ones look alright, but they're not as big as they could be. So yeah, I think I've still got a bit of work to do to get this one really growing well, and I'm not too sure what I'm doing wrong. But I did put it out in the garden in the summer. And I've got it in the greenhouse when it's not flowering, so it's a higher humidity. Yeah, I'm not too sure what else to do, but if you see there, there's a new root there, so it is doing something. Yeah, fingers crossed for next that it'll grow well and give me more flowers next year. Just to complete the in bloom session, so I've got a little Zygopetalum here. It's a species, also from Orchids and More. That's the name there, from Brazil. It's a miniature, it's a smaller Zygopetalum, and also very fragrant. The fragrance reminds me of lavenders, but it's kind of like lavender on steroids. It's very strong fragrance. And next to that we've got a little Tillandsia, well, actually a pretty big one by now, and Dendrobium hybrid just opening up there, just from the garden centre. And one of these, someone gave us this, one of those, what do they call it, Christmas cactus or something. And I've also got this beautiful Odontoglossum hybrid coming into bloom now, with the really gorgeous flowers. So this one is a repeat blooming, got it a few years ago from Vichmann. So I do have a lot of plants in bud at the moment, but just show you a couple of paphs that are coming on, just to whet the appetite for next time. So got a beautiful hybrid here. It's Sukakuli by Mortier. Beautiful foliage on this one. And this is another little primary hybrid here. I think Urbanianum by something or other, Lunatum or something. And this is the Greytrixianum. That's what it is. Yeah, it's got two flowers on it. The other one's kind of tucked away in there. It's a bit hard to see, but two flowers coming on, and Venustum also coming into flower again. And I'd say, yeah, especially these two are very easy growers. Grow them in the greenhouse, a little bit cooler than in the house, but I've had both of these plants for well over 10 years, and yeah, they're very tough plants. And just a super brief update on my Vandas in glass vase culture. I haven't mentioned it for a long time, but I think I did mention it probably a couple of years ago or something. But yeah, as you can see, they're doing well. So I think this is a viable way of growing them. There are some things that I've learned over the last couple of years, and mainly about how much water to give them and how often to give them water. So what I'm doing now is just putting just a tiny little bit of water in there once a week, and just let the plant just drink it up, and then I don't have to worry about draining the water off too much. And that seems to be sufficient for them to get hydrated. So there's really no need to fill up to the brim in the glass vase, just to like a ½ centimetre of water, assuming that the roots are reaching into the bottom of the vase. And then they'll be able to drink that. Of course, if there are no roots in the bottom of the vase, then you need to bring the water up level up so that the roots can have a drink. And yeah, I'd say let them drink overnight, and then flush the water out the next day, and once a week certainly through the winter months. And in the summer you could do it twice or even 3 times a week, and they grow quite well.